The moment when humanity first stepped onto the ruddy plains of Mars began under the guise of a routine mission milestone, the hum of life support systems and the rhythmic beeping of instruments painting a veneer of calm. Yet beneath the surface of this meticulously controlled environment, an unmistakable surge of awe and disbelief coursed through the hearts of the pioneers as they emerged from their habitats to behold a world both alien and eerily familiar, a vast expanse of ochre dust swirling. In thin, cold air beneath a pale salmon sky, jagged rocks casting long shadows in the eerie silence, where every step they took was both a triumphant claim and a humbling reminder of humanity's fragile place in the cosmos. The main characters, each a distinct blend of traits, found their personalities crystallizing under the weight of this revelation. Mia, the cautious mission commander, measured every breath and movement with meticulous precision, her mind racing to anticipate and mitigate every possible risk while suppressing a swell of wonder that threatened to disrupt her steady hand. Raj, the adventurous engineer, felt his pulse quicken as he gazed upon the barren horizon, craving to explore every crater and canyon despite the nagging voice of doubt whispering about unknown dangers lurking beyond their sensors. Lena, the skeptical scientist, scrutinized every detail with a critical eye, her analytical nature wrestling with the improbable truth of their new home, skeptical that such a harsh environment could ever sustain life or hope for permanence. And Kai, the bold communications specialist, exuded a restless energy, eager to bridge the silent void between Mars and Earth with messages that carried the hopes and fears of an entire species. Around them swirled a small but vital community, each person intricately linked by shared dreams and latent tensions, with Dr. Huang, the seasoned biologist whose mentorship offered both solace and challenge to Mia, Elias, the young technician whose quiet loyalty grounded Raj's impulsiveness, and Nora, the enigmatic geologist whose knowledge of the planet's mysteries hinted at secrets yet to be unraveled, their relationships woven with threads of trust, rivalry, and unspoken longing. The atmosphere was charged, a delicate balance between the calm precision demanded by survival and the chaotic flood of emotions unleashed by the surreal reality of living on another world. A place where the horizon seemed infinite yet suffocating, where every sunrise promised both discovery and danger. Their minds wrestled with conflicting emotions, exhilaration tinged with fear, hope shadowed by uncertainty, a profound loneliness beneath the bonds of camaraderie. The true adventure was only beginning, with the vast Martian landscape stretching out before them like an uncharted canvas, alive with possibility and peril, as the mysteries of this red planet whispered of challenges that would test not only their skills and courage but the very essence of what it meant to be human far from home. As the initial awe of setting foot on Mars slowly settled into a more grounded awareness, the characters found themselves at a crossroads where the thrill of discovery intertwined with the stark realities of survival and the daunting unknown. Mia, still steady but quietly burdened by the weight of leadership, convened the team to lay out their priorities, establishing sustainable life support systems, mapping the terrain for resources, and probing the enigmatic red soil for signs of past or present life, each task laden with uncertainty that gnawed at their resolve. Raj, propelled by his adventurous spirit, spearheaded daring expeditions beyond their base, navigating treacherous dust storms and unpredictable terrain, while internally wrestling with the growing fear that their technology might fail in the vast, indifferent landscape, threatening to sever their fragile lifeline to Earth. Lena's skepticism deepened as she encountered anomalies in the soil composition and atmospheric readings that defied existing scientific understanding, forcing her to confront the possibility that Mars held secrets far more complex and perhaps more dangerous than they had prepared for. Her scientific rigor clashing with a creeping sense of unease that threatened to undermine her confidence. Kai, restless and ever communicative, worked tirelessly to maintain the fragile connection with Earth, but the delays, distortions, and occasional silence from their home planet amplified the isolation that gnawed at their spirits, compounding a collective anxiety that pulsed beneath their daily routines. New challenges emerged rapidly, mechanical failures that imperiled oxygen supply, unexpected radiation spikes, and strange electromagnetic disturbances that scrambled their instruments, while mental and emotional strains surfaced as the crew grappled with claustrophobia, homesickness, and the quiet tension simmering beneath their interactions, where unspoken doubts and fears fermented in moments of solitude. Into this web stepped Dr. Malik, a mysterious xenobiologist recently transmitted from an orbiting research station, whose knowledge of extremophile organisms and unconventional theories about Martian ecosystems stirred both hope and suspicion. Was he an invaluable ally with the expertise to unlock Mars' secrets, or a harbinger of unforeseen complications? Meanwhile, rumors spread among the crew of strange phenomena, fleeting shadows in the distance, unexplained power fluctuations, and inexplicable patterns in the data that hinted at something waiting beneath the surface. A presence neither fully understood nor entirely hostile, yet undeniably unsettling. As they delved deeper into exploration and experimentation, the line between scientific inquiry and survival blurred, with every discovery raising more questions than answers, each breakthrough shadowed by new dangers and ethical dilemmas, forcing the team to confront not only the planet's mysteries but their own fears of insignificance and failure. Bonds were tested as paranoia and hope wrestled for dominance, and the landscape of Mars, once a silent witness to human ambition, transformed into an unpredictable character itself, at once beautiful and brutal, inviting and threatening, a crucible in which the limits of human endurance and spirit would be pushed beyond all previous boundaries. The journey onward was uncertain and fraught with peril, with the characters poised on the edge of revelations that could redefine humanity's place in the universe, or consign them to a forgotten fate on a distant, unforgiving world. As the crimson horizon bled into the cold Martian dusk, the crew found themselves teetering on the edge of an impending confrontation that seemed both inevitable and inscrutable, every heartbeat echoing the mounting tension that had threaded through their mission since the first signs of the planet's hidden enigma began to surface. The weight of everything they had endured, the relentless environmental challenges, the creeping doubts, the fractures and reconciliations among themselves, coalesced into a singular, urgent focus, to face the mysterious force that had been subtly manipulating their reality from the shadows, a presence they now understood to be an ancient, semi-sentient network of biomechanical life forms intertwined with the planet's geology, a guardian of Mars' secrets that perceived human intrusion as a threat to its existence, yet paradoxically seemed to communicate through cryptic signals embedded in the soil and electromagnetic waves, revealing vulnerabilities rooted in its reliance on delicate energy flows and environmental balance. In this moment of fragile calm, Mia took command with a resolute calm that masked the storm inside her, orchestrating a final strategy that blended Raj's intrepid exploration skills, Lena's scientific acumen, Kai's communications expertise, and Dr. Malik's profound, albeit enigmatic, understanding of the Martian organism's biology, pooling their dwindling resources, energy cells, experimental tech, and fragile human will, to prepare for what might be a battle of intellect and adaptability rather than brute force. Physically, they fortified their habitats, recalibrated their equipment to withstand surges and sabotage, and rehearsed contingency plans that hinged on precision and timing, while emotionally they sought solace in brief moments of shared vulnerability, acknowledging their fears and hopes in a quiet camaraderie that steeled them against despair. The team's plan hinged on exploiting the creature's dependency on specific energy frequencies to disrupt its control over the environment, attempting to sever its influence long enough to safely extract samples and data that could unlock further understanding or even foster coexistence, a strategy that required not just courage but a deep empathy and respect for the alien intelligence they faced. Yet the tension was palpable, each decision bore the weight of unknown consequences, and the fragile threads holding their unity together threatened to unravel under the pressure. As Kai grappled with the risk of severing communication with Earth, Lena questioned the morality of their interference, and Raja's daring nature tempted reckless gambles that could doom them all. As the Martian night deepened and the stars glittered like distant watchful eyes, they gathered in the command module for one last moment of reflection, the silence broken only by whispered reassurances and the steady beep of life support monitors, knowing that beyond the thin walls of their sanctuary lay a challenge that would test not only their ingenuity and resolve but the very essence of their humanity. The choices made in this crucible poised to either secure a foothold for humankind on a new world or condemn them to be mere echoes in Mars' ancient and unforgiving silence. As the sterile hum of the command module faded beneath the distant rumble of the Martian ground trembling with the awakening of the ancient biomechanical network, the crew plunged into the heart of the final confrontation, a battle not waged with weapons but with wits, empathy, and raw human resilience against a force that embodied the planet itself, the very essence of Mars rising to protect its secrets with an unyielding will that threatened to extinguish their fragile foothold. The atmosphere crackled with tension as Lena's carefully calibrated devices emitted pulses intended to disrupt the entity's energy flow, while Raj navigated treacherous tunnels to deliver vital data and physical samples, each step a gamble against the unstable terrain and shifting energies that could collapse their path or sever their connection to the others, and Mia, burdened by the weight of command, balanced on the knife's edge between decisive leadership and the fear that one misstep could doom them all. Kai's voice crackled through the comms, steady but strained, as he coordinated their efforts to maintain a tenuous link to Earth, even as electromagnetic interference threatened to sever the lifeline they all clung to, and Dr. Malik, simultaneously scientist and enigma, decoded the patterns of the network's response, offering insights that blurred the lines between alien hostility and a desperate, misunderstood attempt at communication. As the battle unfolded, the emotional toll was searing, fear mingled with hope, exhaustion with determination, and beneath it all, the crushing knowledge that to succeed, they might have to sacrifice not only the mission but fragments of themselves, their innocence, their certainty, even their unity. The defining moment came when Mia, facing the collapse of their main energy shield, made a gut-wrenching choice to manually redirect power from the habitat's life support to amplify Lena's disruptor device. Fully aware this gamble could mean life or death for those inside, the device surged to life, sending a pulse that resonated through the network, fracturing its cohesion, exposing vulnerabilities long hidden beneath millennia of dormancy. This rupture allowed Raj to plant a containment beacon, designed to stabilize the network's energies and initiate a symbiotic balance rather than destruction, a move born from Lena's growing conviction that coexistence was the only path forward. The climax left the crew battered, physically drained, and forever altered, no longer explorers but pioneers who had bridged the unfathomable gap between humanity and an alien consciousness. In the aftermath, as the red dust settled and the eerie calm returned, Mars felt transformed, its ancient protector now a tentative ally, its mysteries partially unveiled but far from fully understood. The crew's bonds deepened, their perspectives irrevocably expanded. They carried the scars of sacrifice and the weight of new responsibility as stewards of a fragile peace on a world that was no longer just a barren frontier but a living, breathing entity intertwined with their own fate. News of their triumph rippled back to Earth, inspiring awe and a profound reckoning about humanity's place in the cosmos, while the crew themselves grappled with the paradox of victory and loss, knowing the journey had only truly begun. As they prepared to send their findings and reflections home, Mia's final message echoed with quiet resolve and hope, urging all who heard it to embrace curiosity and courage in the face of the unknown. And if you've been captivated by this journey into the heart of Mars, don't forget to subscribe for more stories that push the boundaries of imagination and human spirit.